Another really cool feature for the SquareKicker feature release updates is the layout function has added the ability to do split screens. So for your clients, this is excellent. There's no additional plugin needed, although I have found a few that I really like. For instance, willmyers.com. I think it's will hyphen or dash myers.com. He has an excellent split screen layout that still allows it to be individually editable. But this one basically keeps you from adding an additional plugin, and it's still editable the way that you naturally would edit it in Squarespace. So that is awesome. So basically how that works, it's a little bit quirky in that when I added the second layout screen, the edit portion for this, like this little pop-up for this section kind of disappeared. So what I did was add a blank section right above it, change the background color to be the same color as my header, and then shorten the height as little as it will go. And in your code, you can actually target this section by using a square, I think it's called Square ID identifier or something like that. And then you can click to get this thing, block identifier or section identifier code, and then you can say display none. And that way it would be there so that when you edit, you could still see your edit stuff for that section, but it wouldn't get in your way visually. So anyway, I digress. The layout options, you have to kind of understand how they add up to make 100% screen width. So let's just take a look. For instance, this section is 1/3 of a page, so it's 33%. And this section is 2/3 at 66%. So let's move that down just for now so you can see kind of how I did that and undo that layout. Okay, so with the SquareKicker layout option, you would go in and you would choose the one that you want. Let's see, we want the 2/3. Okay, so that officially makes this section only 2/3 of the layout. And if we want to move this section back up, it's going to be, oh, there we go. Okay. Let's get rid of that setting too. Okay, so if we move it back up, just because you add another one beneath it doesn't mean that it will move into that slot. So let's just do that one more time so you can see. So we added a new section. It didn't automatically put it here. And that's because Squarespace is in the code is saying this section takes up 100% of the width of this viewport screen. So what you're doing is you go to SquareKicker, you change the layout, and now you want it to be 1/3 of the screen. And when you do that, it fits in that other section. And then you can use Squarespace's section editor tools to make sure that that content takes up the amount of space that you want. So now you have a nice layout. Let's change the background color to black and apply that same waveform if we can. That's pretty close. So because I changed the background color within SquareKicker, not using Squarespace's default, it makes the text the same color as the background, obviously, which you can change in SquareKicker. So I think that was mostly paragraph 1. And so you can change it manually, but what I think I would rather you do is to go back and change that background color back to normal and just change the color theme. Yep, that way you don't have to change blocks individually. And this stays the same because we already gave that the color separate from Squarespace's native site styles. So if you save that out, you'll have to check it on multiple screen sizes because it's not necessarily mobile ready. Looks like it's okay for tablet, but for phone, you'd probably want to do something a little different. So in that case, maybe change the device size for mobile and then undo the layout option for both of those. So on mobile only, well, let's keep that waveform. There we go. And then on mobile, you can make it look something like that. So this one has the waveform applied to the bottom of it, and this one has no divider additions at all. So it's really neat that you can be able to do this for different device sizes. And really, really neat that you can do this without actually touching the code yourself.